Before we start, I would like to state a few things. First of all, despite featuring Thomas the Tank Engine characters, this video and channel in general is not intended for children in any way, shape, or form, as it includes swearing, talking trains, mediocre voice acting, violence, and mentions of sensitive events. If you are a parent whose child had been influenced by any of these things in a bad way, let me emphasize that I will not take any responsibility for what you or your child watches. So, if you are afraid of trains, or if you haven't heard words like fuck, shit, or piss before, then, well, you have now. I would also like to state that I do not own the rights to Thomas the Tank Engine. That unfortunate honor goes to Mattel Creations, not me. It just had to be good strains, didn't it? Why hello there, James. Hey. Trucks as usual, I suppose. It's disgusting! What is? The Beeching axe. More rude diesels being built. They stopped building steam engines a few years ago. It's sick! The worst part, Edward, we've served loyally for, decades. And what do we get? The scrapper's torch. Because we puff steam instead of belching oil? Oh, that. Yeah. They think they're making things better. Better? How is BR and Beeching scrapping us steam engines and replacing us with those shoeboxes on wheels making things better? Efficiency in making things better, my tender. This is extermination! Now, calm down, James. No! I will not calm down. Why and how can you even be so calm about this, Edward? I'm not happy with any of this going on, and I understand why you aren't either. None of us are. But we should be grateful for what we still have, as there's not much we can do about it. That's exactly what is so disgusting about it. Don't you feel guilty, Edward? Steam engines are getting cut up in scrapyards. One of the lines of our railway got shut down by the mainland railway's chairman, and they and the doctor expect us to carry on like nothing else happened. Firing railway workers and replacing steam engines with those disgraceful boxes on wheels. Do they feel nothing? Yes, it's not the very good predicament, but it's one we are in nonetheless, James. Who knows? The X can't be everywhere. Dr. Beeching won't be here for too long after all, and we might consider that not all diesels may be rude out there. I'll accept diesels when pigs fly, and I won't let the scrapped steam engine's legacy die to them either. But right now, I'm going to make damn sure all my trains get where they're needed to on time. If nothing else, we'll prove we still matter. Both to British Railways and Britain in general. Good day, Edward. Huh? You there. Engine? Name? Mavis. And I know who you are. Oh, then you know I'm here to assess what's viable and what's not. You mean what gets shut down? That's all I've been hearing about lately, both on Sodor and on BR. So, go on then. What do you think of this quarry? A short quarry run moving stone across a limited route? It'll do. At least this branch has some industry. Only if you don't look at the bigger picture. You know, I know that branch line better than any clipboard ever will, and I don't even go over there that often. The work those engines do back there matters, whether or not it earns a tidy profit every quarter. A diesel on this island, and with pride? That's a rare find around here. Maybe if more people on your board spend a day out here, they'd understand the reason. And what do you think I don't understand? A lot, to be blunt. That railways aren't just about money, they're about people. Even we engines know that. This isn't a museum, Mavis. It's a nationalized transport system making money every year, and I've been hired to make it stop. By butchering it, by streamlining it. And British Rail must close multiple stations and yards. It must retire a multitude of its engines and replace them with diesels, as well as put the withdrawn steam engines on cold sidings to be cut up. It must sack multiple of its workers. It must retire many of its rolling stock. It must shape the mind of diesel engines for them to be cold and cruel to other steam engines. Mavis, you are young and still do not get it. There's no point in having engines pass through stations and yards that aren't being used. The steam engines are quite inefficient, and it takes too long for them to build up steam when there are diesels that are built with only needing oil and the turn of a key, and then off like you are now. And as for the workers, the company is overstaffed. Plain, blunt, and simple. But so many people depend on the railways for their livelihood. Like the quarry workers around here, for example. I can't help that. In other words, you don't give a damn. You're Diesel, Mavis. I expected you to understand. You were built for this future. Built to be better. Mate, I was built to help, not replace. I know exactly where you're going with that, but I don't have the mindset those other Diesels did. Plus, I'm not heartless like you are. Heart is irrelevant to this discussion. Efficiency is what matters now. You're far too emotional for a shunter, and you're far too cold for a man running a national institution. And what would you know about economics, of timetables, and resource allocations? Well, to be honest, not much. But I know what makes a railway alive. The people, the engines, the heart. You think steam engines are obsolete, but you forget it's been the backbone of this country for over 100 years. This is what I've been brought in to do, Mavis. Cuts, closures, reductions, it's the only way forward, which is what I will continue to do for British Rail until it's said otherwise. Regardless of the cost? Costs are exactly what I'm trying to bring down. Every unnecessary mile of track, every unprofitable yard, every outdated engine and rolling stock, all of it must go. Future cuts will happen, and they'll happen soon. Future cuts? By Lord, no wonder why they called you the Axeman of Beer. I suppose I will always be known by those on this railway and in Britain in general as the Axeman. But this is surgery, not mad chopping. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to do my final act before leaving for the mainland. Fine, but if the patient dies, don't blame us for not trusting the surgeon. You can call it surgery all you want. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to continue with my work. Ah, hello there, mi amigo. Who might you be? Yusuf. You? I'm Victor. I'm assuming you're new here. Well, kinda, but not really. Former engine of the island, you could say. How long have you been here? 12 years, my friend. Now then, I suppose we should get started with you. I guess. Right then. First, let's be sure if any repairs are needed. Kevin! Coming, boss! I'm coming! Way in favor of the diesels. Who is that next to the fat controller? Dr. Beeching. Ah, Thomas, is it? The famous tank engine? Yeah, that's right, mate. And I have something to say. I've heard what you're doing. Not just here, but across the whole network of Britain. You're not fixing things. You're tearing them apart. Closing branch lines and stations, sending engines to die in yards miles from home. What kind of chairman is that? A necessary one. Your emotional appeal may work on children, but not on national budgets. You engines are relics of a bygone era. Charming? Yes. Efficient? No. Not efficient, eh? We're maintained, we work hard, and we've adapted time and time again. What you're doing isn't about efficiency. It's about erasing everything that came before you. You think I take pleasure in this? I don't. But railways aren't stories in picture books, James. They're numbers. They're losses. Your lines lose money. Your sentimental value doesn't appear in the ledgers. Then maybe your ledgers and your brain are broken. Excuse me? You heard me, bitch. You think people don't care about their little branch lines or anything like that? The engines they grew up with? You're wrong. You're cutting away people's memories, their connection. And I don't just mean our fame from the railway series. There's value in us. And if you can't see that, right, that's enough. These engines aren't just machines, Dr. Beeching. They're living history. These engines are a part of British history in general. They aren't just famous because they are slapped on a children's book. You're not just closing lines, you're cutting lives in half. I do what must be done. The age of steam is ending. Change always comes to a cost. But it doesn't have to be cruel, you know. You engines, you're unlike any I've seen. It's made me think harder than I ever expected to. Then stop. Stop before you make things worse. I would much rather you reconsider, Charles, especially to help the railway. It's not the railway, it's the Fat Controller's railway, as in my railway. Is it a crime to keep things the way they were in the past and to care for your own engines? They are just engines, Charles, not people. You can't personally attach yourselves to them, especially with us in dieselization. I can't care about my engines, eh? I can't attach myself to them even though they are living beings just like the both of us? As I said before, these steam engines are not just important because they are in a series of books. They are so much more. They may not be humans like us both, but they still have lives, and I will not dispose of them. Would you get rid of all your family if it made your business more efficient? You're digging yourself very deep in a hole, Charles. I will not leave until we have a deal, unless you want something to happen to those two over there. You want to threaten us and our controller again, you bastard? Alright, that's enough. Dr. Beeching, I have made my decision and it is final. These steam engines still have strength in them to continue in service, no matter what you or British Rail says. You try to have me booted out as controller, you'll be found out. You send your diesels to hunt down and kill my engines regardless, I'll hide them. No matter what you do, you won't win. Whether you like it or not, as once I said before, this is my railway and I give the orders. You can continue what you're doing on British Rail, but I will never destroy or abandon any of my engines. It's no deal, and you can't convince me, and I have no qualms about alerting the authorities if I must. Fine. Seems you've made your point clearer than I ever could. I will not be reversing the lines and stations I closed here, however, but you can continue running your railway as normal with these engines. But someday, I'm sure you'll learn. Good lord, you claim to be leaving today and all you did is ramble on and on. Are you going to get on this train or what? Complain. I'm seriously going to murder you if you don't. Honestly, we should stop shooting. These are just random. Come on, just train my way now. Why are you sitting there? Complain. I'll take my leave. Oh my god, yeah, finally, just get on. There you go. Do you not know? Are you like fucking 20 years old? Be quick about it. Gladly. Good show, Thomas. Well, good riddance to that bitch. To your right. Simply disgusting. I would like to make an announcement to all my engines. A couple of years ago, you'll remember one of my first acts as controller was to reopen the old goods line on Thomas's branch line and redevelop Tidmouth Harbour to relieve the overcrowding at Knapford Harbour. Although it helped, it was clear to me that it didn't provide what I was looking for. So earlier this year, I had decided on somewhere else. I had gone and looked at the old line from Tidmouth to Augsburg and started on reopening the line and the harbour at Augsburg after 17 years of abandonment. Donald, Douglas, Elijah, and Richie have all helped in this and did so very well. And the former two will be working more often on that line once it's completed from now on, though that's not to say they are being permanently relocated. These four will continue working on completing the reconstruction of the line, but I will be bringing some of you over to help if needed. You are all dismissed and may get back to work. Thanks, Vic! Hello, Rich. It's been a long time, hasn't it?